What was Brady like back then, and what are your conversations with him like now when you're doing your job and you're sitting down with Brady and it's a Monday night game right before the Giants and he's in the middle of an important season for him? What's it like when you sit down with a guy who you knew back in the day as Tommy coming into the program?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, Rich. By the way, he's still Tommy. He'll always be Tommy. But talking with him, we did 2 of their games this year. We did their game against the Giants, and that was the first game I had announced of Tommy's in 20 years, right? Because I've been, playing and then doing college ball, and so I talked to them offline. I'm like, dude, I never would have imagined. Could you have ever imagined that we would be where we are, doing what we're doing now? And I'm so fortunate and lucky to be on Monday Night Football and doing that. And he said, you know what, we're so blessed and so fortunate and so lucky. And I just told him I was proud of him, for everything that he's done and accomplished in his career, and how much I look forward to having the opportunity to call one of his games. And I said, you had to play, damn near 25 years for me to get a chance to call one of your games, but it was all good. And it was a great experience, and for our relationship to come as far as it has, and for me to have that opportunity was great.
So is he comfortable yet, even now, in this offense, Brian, with 3 weeks to go? What do you think?
I don't think so. I think, Rich, that we've watched and grown accustomed to Tom, being who he is in New England and comfortable and on top of everything. And I think, and he would tell you that it's been a process in Tampa and new pieces, new players, obviously, the same hurdles that everybody's had to go through, but and a new coach who has a different way of attacking offensively. And so, no, I wouldn't say that he's 100% comfortable, and I wouldn't imagine that he would be in his first year down there.
So how do you think the Bucs season plays out? Final 3 games, they're 8-5. Again, they come out of the bye, and it still didn't look super. It still didn't look like we're used to seeing Brady getting ramped up in December for a long run. It looked still a bit ragtag. How do you think it does play out for Brady in his first season outside of New England, Brian Griese?
Well, I mean, everybody looks at the last 3 games, and 2 of them against Atlanta, and says, "Oh, well." And then the other one, I think, is Detroit, and they're going to go 3-0 to end the season. But Atlanta's a good football team, and can certainly play with Tampa. But I would expect that Bruce Arians and Tom get on the same page and run the football. And I think there's no questioning that it has to be a balanced attack on the offensive side for them to have any success in the postseason. And that's going to be easier said than done because they've tried to do it in the past, and Ronald Jones certainly, Fournette. But I don't think there's any question, much like we're seeing. And I'm not equating Ben Roethlisberger with Tom Brady, but when you put everything on the quarterback in the passing game, and especially at that age, it's not a great recipe. And Ben Roethlisberger's finding this out in a way that's difficult and is ugly. And Tom understands the balance that's needed for him to really execute off of play action, which is what they need to do rather than just dropping back. They've got to have that run game.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.